REED-BBS. BBS. Blackberg Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television! Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.
REED-BBS. BBS. The WBC has mandated boxing's boogeymen, a battle of boxing's boogeymen, SHAKUR Stevenson and Frank Martin, the Ghost. It's funny because I was actually brainstorming, thinking about doing a boxing's boogeyman video. SHAKUR, Frank Martin, Boots Ennis, and David Benavidez. But now with this latest bit of news, go ahead and talk about this upcoming matchup, man. So the WBC, of course, Devin Haney's the undisputed champion. He's made it clear he's going to move up to 140 to challenge Regis Prograis for Regis's WBC title. So with that, as of now, the WBC at lightweight has named Devin Haney champion in recess, which means the title is vacant. Which brings us to SHAKUR Stevenson and Frank Martin. The thing about it is, both sides, Team SHAKUR, Team Martin, they have until September 5th to come to terms contractually, or the fight itself will go to purse bids. I personally expect this to go to purse bids. From Martin's perspective, there's really no incentive because you know Bob Arum and Top Rank are going to come in lowballing Martin. Hey, you haven't done this, you haven't done that, you haven't accomplished this. SHAKUR, 2-weight world champion, vying for 3 gold medal, silver medalists, Frank doesn't bring much to the table. However, and I'm not 100% sure on this, I'm sure though, I would think with the title being vacant, the WBC title, therefore no champion, I would hope and imagine they just make it a 50-50 split. I don't know that for a fact though. Typically with a purse bid, when the sanctioning body mandates that, the champion gets 75% of the purse off the rip, and the challenger gets 25%. I remember this when Spence challenged Kell Brook for his IBF title. Spence only got 25% of that purse. But again, with this WBC title being vacant, I would expect both men would get 50-50, which Martin would not be offered if he were to negotiate with Top Rank right now. He just wouldn't. They wouldn't offer him that. But it's a good fight, man. Martin's had problems finding opponents. SHAKUR's been having a hard time finding opponents since he was a fucking featherweight. So, boxing's boogeyman. It's good to see this coming through, man. Can't wait to see it. Now, of course, everybody's hyped on all this tabloid shit, Twitter beef, and video leaks between the champion in recess, Devin Haney, and SHAKUR Stevenson. I'm not really into the tabloid shit. I try to keep my videos strictly boxing. So let's continue in that vein. SHAKUR, he's 20 wins, no losses, 10 KOs. My man is 26 now. Per Google, they don't list his exact boxing record, but they do say he had over 140 bouts and 13 L's, 13 losses. From there, SHAKUR, he's a 2016 silver medalist, Olympic silver medalist, WBO featherweight champion, WBO and WBC unified champion at 130. And he's at 40. He's at 35 now. Wants all the smoke. From the very first fight at 35, SHAKUR was looking at the likes of Pitbull Cruz, George Kambosos, William Zepeda. Like he was wanting all the smoke in his first fight, but he ended up facing Shuichiro Yoshino. Now, leading us to this WBC mandating SHAKUR and Martin to vie for their title. Lomachenko is the number 1 ranked contender per the WBC. SHAKUR's number 2, Pitbull Cruz is 3, and Frank Martin is 4. Yes, if you haven't heard by now, Loma declined the chance to fight for the vacant title against SHAKUR. And then Pitbull Cruz, who has shown no inclination to fight SHAKUR, period, whenever, never, ever, he declined it yet again. So in steps Frank Martin. You know, he couldn't ask for a better opportunity. Martin, he's 28 years old, 18 wins, 12 KOs. He's nicknamed the Ghost because one day he was in the gym working out and the lights went out. Everybody else kind of stopped and paused because it was dark. And they say Martin kept working out. They could kind of see his shadow or some shit. That's kind of a loose interpretation of backstory of how he got the nickname. So I read on the PBC website anyway. Martin had an amateur record of 52 wins, 6 losses. He won the 2016 National Golden Gloves, beating Virgil Ortiz in the process. He's raised in Indianapolis. Oh no, he's reared in Indy, but he was born in Detroit, so he's a D-town dude. He's on the Spence PBC side. You know, Spence is his actual promoter, Man Down Promotions, whereas Shakur's with Top Rank and Jay Prince. Mr. Martin, he played football, and interestingly, he wrestled. In high school, he wrestled at 152 pounds. Yeah, here he is now, 28-year-old man, campaigning at 35. He's best known, he knocked out Mr. Marinez. He KO'd him in the 10th round. Same dude that Rolly Romero got a gift decision over, Jackson Marinez. Martin then went on to beat Michelle Rivera by decision. And most recently, he beat 2016 bronze medalist Artem Harutyunyan. I'm sure I butchered that name. That was a WBC eliminator. That's what positioned Martin to have this fight now. He's also a cousin of former Dallas Cowboy Jalen Smith, who reached out to Derrick James to bridge that gap between them, and which has Martin where he is now, on the brink of a title fight. Now, I'm not going to pick him to win said title fight. You have to pick Shakur here. Despite the fact Martin, he's very athletic, quick. Per the listed measurements, he seems to be a little bit bigger, tad taller, same reach, a little thicker built, muscular dude. Very quick and strong and athletic. But this is Shakur. Exquisite skills. Probably the best current defensive fighter in the game, who can stand in front of you. He can stand in rain and not get wet. He be bobbing and weaving out the way of raindrops and shit. But we'll delve deeper into Shakur versus Frank Martin as the bout approaches, as we get an actual fight date and whatnot. But I had to speak on this one, y'all. REED-BBS, BBS. Blackbird Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Televisión! Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.